Hey everybody, Mackle Shadackle here. Or just Michael. I always go by Mackle Shadackle now, but I used to just say my real name. What changed? I become ashamed of myself. Anyways, I want to talk about, just do a quick little shout out video for Dungeons & Duckies. It's just another bonus video. I like doing the bonus videos. There'll be more of these, more than likely. We have 4 episodes out now, and I'm working hard on episode 5 now, and I just wanted to do a little shout out to everyone who helps me make it. Because this is not my show, this is our show. I mean, that absolutely is not, I'm not just like saying that. It legitimately would not exist without the effort of 6 people. So I just want to shout them out. Because we got Matt and Mitzi who do the artwork. Mitzi did the amazing intro artwork. And Mitzi also has ever since started providing artwork for the additional episodes. Matt has done the same. Matt makes a lot of memes too. Me and him have both had a lot of fun making really terrible Photoshops. And I really like the different art styles too, between like Matt and Mitzi's and then my very cursed drawings. I just really like the personality it adds to the show, just having 3 different people providing visuals. And I would definitely say I prefer Matt and Mitzi's to my own. Just because Mitzi's are a lot more clean, Matt's are a lot more funny. I really would lack if it was just going off of my artistic abilities alone. I really like what they add to the show, and pretty much every single time I message them asking them a favor, they do it for me. They're very involved in like post-production, even though they aren't editing per se. I would have to say that both of them are highly involved in post-production. Matt's even done some edits. They continue to work after the episodes are recorded. So a huge shout out to both of them. Mitzi does not have a YouTube channel, but Matt's channel is linked in every episode, and I will link it in this video too. Mitzi likes the show Magnus Archives, so listen to that. Listen to that, because it's I've listened to some of it, and it's pretty good. I like it. Alright, next up is good old Zifprod. I've collaborated with him for like 10 years now. And this is just the most recent thing. I think this was Zack's idea. It was either Zack or Teddy's idea. It may have been both. It may have just been Teddy. I don't remember. Me and Zack kind of had the idea to record it, though, because we were just going to do a coronavirus D&D game for fun to keep ourselves entertained, to keep ourselves company. And then we thought doing a show out of it would be fun. Certainly adds a lot to my already existing workload. But I'm glad we did it. I'm glad that we had the idea to just record it and see where it goes. And that's led to a lot of fun making the artwork, and it's led to a lot of fun doing everything. And Zack also records the shows for us. We all record our own ends too, just for backup, but for the way that this show is going and the other things on my to-do list, group recording really is the only way it could happen. If I was editing 6 different audio tracks per episode, it just wouldn't come out. I wouldn't be able to do that. That would take way too much time. It's already a pain in the ass when I'm doing like a derailed episode on my own channel. And I have to like mess with 2 or 3 levels for like a Mackle and Zack or a derailed podcast. It takes extra time, and I'm willing to do it for those videos. But it just would not work with this show. It would never come out. So Zack has been very good with recording everyone, and the backups are just used if there's any connection issues, which for the most part we've been pretty good with that. I'm started editing session 2, and there's been some things I need to work on there. But for the most part, Zack's audio always comes in really clean, and I really appreciate him doing that because it's storage that he has to, take on his computer, and, he's responsible for, like, testing the audio, doing all our tests, and making sure everything's running smoothly as we record. And, yeah, it's another thing. The show just could not exist without it. I have a new computer now, so I possibly could record the show, but when we first started, when we did, like, sessions 1 through 9, absolutely fucking not. My computer cannot handle that shit. My computer's really bad with it. Zack is pretty much the only one, I think, who could, I don't know how everyone else's computers are, but Zack definitely has us covered there. So a huge thanks to Zack. Brent just shows up. Brent just shows up and adds a lot of personality to the show, but I still appreciate him being part of it. Brent didn't know everyone as well. Me and him have been good friends for a long time, so it was cool of him to come on and just sort of talk out with everyone else, like, and, find chemistry within the group, even though it was a group that he was pretty new to. And then I think he blended in very well, though I think he added a lot to the show. I think Dow adds a lot of humor to the show. Not that, like, every character adds comedy to it, but Dow, to me, is one of the funniest on the show. and I laugh hysterically at some of the shit Brent says on the show, and I'm very happy with his contribution. He's not much of behind the scenes or even, he records his own end, but he is definitely a personality on the show that has benefited it greatly. I'll link Shenanipals for that because that's a channel that me and him do together. That is the closest thing he has to a YouTube channel, so I'll promote that for now. And finally, we have Teddy, who puts up with all the bullshit. And he does cause some of the bullshit, but for the most part, he just puts up with the bullshit. He writes the story, he's our dungeon master, he does so much of the work, like the pre-production, he's like, there's some stuff that he's writing down, it's not a scripted series, but there are scripted things in the series. He's planned it out, he's like, anytime one of us want to message him about something, like something that we want only the dungeon master to know, not the other players to know about our characters, he's there to talk to you. Me and him have spent a lot of time on the phone just talking out certain ideas and talking out like whenever there was like kind of a conflict with the show, like something that we needed to change up, or due to circumstances that'll happen like a decent bit later in the show, we had to make some pretty big changes to something, and he was just there to help me write that out and like plan out what we were going to do about it. Yeah, he's just, and the biggest thing though is just aside from planning out everything and helping put the show together, he puts up with the bullshit. It's 5 of us all talking over each other, all trying to bring our own thing to the show. Meanwhile, Teddy's trying to explain things to us and trying to like move things forward. But he's very good at putting up with it. In fact, he absolutely contributes to it. But he's just definitely someone who has a lot of patience with the group. And whenever there's like a technical problem with like Roll20, he's on it, and he will spend time when we're not even recording trying to fix it. So Teddy's just basically everything pre-production, with very few of us actually putting anything to pre-production. Anything that we do pre-production wise is done directly through Teddy. It's us speaking to Teddy about stuff we would like to do in the future in the show and just trying to figure out. For me, my number one like work with Teddy before recording an episode is just like messaging him or talking. He's like, hey, am I allowed to do this? Because I don't want to like say it in the episode and then for you or anyone else say, oh, you can't do that. I want to make sure I'm allowed to do it. There has been some fucking ridiculous requests given to Teddy, but he treats every single one of them with the same amount of dignity he would treat any other request, and that is also appreciated. And finally, he narrates the show. He's the narrator, he's the voice, and he, with like the role he has, he doesn't even get that much artwork dedicated to him. There's some coming in the later episodes too. But he has definitely sacrificed the fun of having a character to just run the entire game for us. But he always tells us that he loves doing it and he's happy to do it. And Teddy, we're happy that you're doing it too. So yeah, there's my special thanks to everyone. Seriously couldn't do it without you. I hope I'm not being too preachy in this video, but legitimately, I've liked doing this show. It gave me something to do during the virus. It weirdly enough probably would not have happened if there weren't a fucking pandemic in the world. Who knows what life would have been if the last 4 months had been completely different. But it is something positive that came out of a pretty horrific year for a lot of people. And I've enjoyed doing it. And it's stupid, it's silly. But it has legitimately been a good experience for me, and I have enjoyed doing it. And it's been my main project lately, at least YouTube-wise. I have projects outside of YouTube, of course, but I've been more focused on the show than my own channel. And that's just because I legitimately enjoy it, and I legitimately think it's worth the time that's put into it. So again, would not be what it is without the other 5 people. So thank you so much, everyone. All right, this video is almost 10 minutes long. Let's cut it off. Peace.